This program is sponsored in part by
Municipal Credit Union, serving the financial needs of our members since 1916. MCU, strong, trusted, growing.
Transit Check saves money for commuters, lowers payroll taxes for businesses, and it's also good for the environment. With Transit Check, everyone benefits.
The Transit Managerial Benevolent Association, protecting the rights of non-represented, active, and retired managerial employees within the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Mike Landi, President.
Whether it's a landmark or a nightlight, Con Edison knows everything that depends on power matters to someone, so everything matters to us. Con Edison, everything matters.
Transport Workers Union Local 100, representing the 35,000 men and women who move New York. We're New York's public transit union. John Samuelson, President.
And by the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association of the City of New York, fighting for the rights of the police officers who protect New York City. Patrick J. Lynch, President.
Hear ye, hear ye. Hello and welcome everyone to another edition of Transit Newsmagazine. We're taking a step back in time here at the New York Renaissance Fair. I'm Brandon Snively.
I'm ready to explore the beautiful landscape where the buildings replicate a 16th century medieval village. I'm Lauren Landi.
And here at the New York Renaissance Fair, there are over 32 acres of fun, games, crafts, and costumed actors. And speaking of costumes, how do they walk around in the heat in these heavy clothes? I'm Mike Newton-Goldstein.
And I'm Crystal Koulouris. There's so much going on and so much fun to do here, like finding my knight in shining armor. But first, on this month's show,
hiking isn't the only way to discover New York. I'm Lauren Landi, and I've got that story.
Distracted pedestrians on the streets of New York and what some city officials are doing about it. I'm Skyler Srivastava. I have that story.
life was simple back in the ye old days. Being connected meant walking to your friend's house to say hello, but one still had to keep an eye out for danger.
Today, keeping in contact is just a click away, and the danger of texting and walking can be very deadly. We sent a reporter, Skyler Srivastava, out to see what's being done to keep you safe.
Do you text while walking? Listen to music? Are you so distracted that you're simply unaware of your surroundings, even when crossing the street? New York City officials say more and more pedestrians are throwing caution to the wind, and many New Yorkers say they know it can be dangerous, but find themselves doing it anyway.
They shouldn't do it. I don't tell my kids not to do it, but I do it. I'm guilty of it. It's probably a really bad idea.
When I was texting and walking across the street, I almost got hit by a car, so I don't think that's the smartest thing you should do.
I've caught myself picking up my head and realizing that it could have been close.
The MTA's Cordell Rogers says what he's seen out on the streets is alarming.
Oh my goodness. I have seen far too many levels of distractedness, areas in which people are not paying attention. In fact, I'd say it reached epidemic proportions.
In a recent survey by the New York City Mayor's office, nearly 3/4 of all pedestrians killed or injured took place at intersections in Manhattan, and half of those took place at signalized intersections, suggesting the fault was both the drivers' and pedestrians' failure to follow traffic signals. To raise more awareness about how unsafe distracted walking can be on the streets, the program Vision Zero was recently put into play. It focuses on prevention.
Educating New Yorkers is no small feat. No New Yorker actually wants to be told what to do or take the time to read anything. So we do this fast and furious. right? We talk to pedestrians, bicyclists, and drivers about the top few things that they can do to really protect themselves and save lives.
It's a coordinated effort by the NYPD, the DOT, the MTA, and the Taxi and Limousine Commission, looking at all the factors contributing to crashes and trying to eliminate them. There's signage and even little sayings to help people remember. But many people remain skeptical about the effectiveness of Vision Zero.
People are going to use their cell phones if they want to use their cell phones. I mean, it's a good idea to just bring awareness to people, like, hey, you need to look up when you're crossing the street, like there are cars coming towards you, but I don't know that there's much they can do to actually stop people from using their phones.
Still, transit officials want to remind you to stay focused when walking the streets of the Big Apple.
We all bear responsibility for our personal safety, and you can do your part by remaining focused while you're in traffic.
The bottom line is this: your life is way too precious to leave in the hands of a song or a text message. So remember, look both ways before crossing the street and don't get distracted. For Transit News, I'm Skyler Srivastava.
In the 16th century, there were no washing machines. When something needed cleaning, the washing wenches had to do the scrubbing by hand. Dear, would you clean this for me?
And our subway system needs cleaning too, but with 600 volts of electricity running through the third rail, water is not an option. But we do have the vac track, and our reporter Aubrey Van Allen went out to go see how it works.
We've all seen garbage on the subway tracks. Ever wonder how all that trash gets picked up? The vac track, New York City Transit's newly renovated vacuum train, is the one that does the job.
The train operates between 3 and 4 miles an hour. Typically on a night it'll pick up about 5,000 feet or 8 to 9 stations of trash.
Basically remove paper, leaves, and steel dust from around the track.
This self-propelled train utilizes its multiple cars, each with a different purpose.
We have a center car, which is basically the vacuum, and 2 filter cars. So we collect all the trash off the tracks through the filter cars into the hopper, and then the train gets dumped when it's full.
In order to suck up the trash, the vacuum uses a unique system.
In the process of vacuuming debris that is stuck to the roadbed, it has a blowing agitation system that actually blows air down onto the roadbed to agitate and lift the debris from the roadbed, and then that debris gets dispersed in both directions towards the filter cars.
Not only is cleaning the tracks aesthetically important, it's crucial to commuters' safety as well.
Last year there was approximately 563 track fires, contributing to 7,200 train delays. So it's imperative that we get all the paper off the tracks.
After ridding the subways of tons of trash, the vac track was bound to need some upgrades and repairs, which is exactly what it got this past year.
The vac track was upgraded and started in October, and we finished the upgrade about the end of May.
We had to change several major components in the train to improve its performance. Now, when we change parts and components on this train, we have to make our components fit in a certain footprint of the train.
But sometimes that footprint isn't so easy to match.
It's quite a difficult task because a lot of these parts aren't available off the shelf.
All the fabrications and modifications on this train were done by the shop, and they were necessary due to the components not being supported by the vendors anymore.
Although completing the repairs was demanding, these Department of Subway employees all believe it was crucial for now.
We're looking into purchasing 2 more new trains. These things have reached their life expectancy. This train is 13 years old, the other one is 15 years old, and they're due to be replaced shortly.
On the new trains, we'll have locomotives pulling the vacuum system, and so when we need to do maintenance, we can just swap those cars out while the vacuum system continues to operate.
They're going to be simpler and be smaller. They're going to be non-self-propelled, so the availability will be much better.
Hopefully we'll get a better product out there and we'll do a better job.
Vac track, cleaning up our rails one track at a time. I'm Aubrey Van Allen, reporting for Transit News.
Back in the days of yore, if a king or queen wanted to leave the castle and survey their kingdom, it would have to be done by horse and carriage.
Today, if you want to leave the city and see the countryside, there's the Catskill Mountain Railroad. We sent our reporter, Landi, out for a train ride.
In 1982, the Catskill Mountain Railroad was chartered to run tourist passenger trains as well as freight service.
Initially, we were offering a service from Mount Tremper back to Phoenicia for people who would come up and tube the Esopus. The Catskills were America's first vacation destination.
The train is just one part of a long-term plan to reopen the length of the railroad from Kingston to Phoenicia and beyond. The Catskill Mountain Railroad offers scenic train rides all year round.
Well, particularly if you came up here in the fall, it's spectacular. People love this in the fall foliage. It's beautiful.
In September, we're going to have Thomas the Tank Engine, who is going to perform service down in our Kingston area. Then in October, we're going to have a pumpkin patch train, a Charlie Brown train, that will bring kids out to a pumpkin patch where they can enjoy that event.
From the conductors to the train workers, all of the Catskill Railroad employees are well-trained volunteers.
It's a great weekend job because you get to talk to a lot of people from really all over the world. It's a lot of fun to do. It's a labor of love.
Get out of the hustle and bustle of the city and enjoy all the Catskill Railroad has to offer, like a romantic dinner for two or some family fun.
You know, there's a lot of people from New York City like to come up here, and they're in the woods. It's great.
We thought it was fantastic. We got to see the countryside, got to check out all the rivers. Layla got to see the best part of New York, didn't you? We had a blast.
It's great. It's a piece of Americana.
This is just a wonderful, very family-based operation.
Fall into autumn using the Catskill Mountain Railroad. I'm Landi, reporting for Transit News.
Good day, my friends. My name is Bartholomew Bombadil. I am the mayor of this fine Stirlingshire. And welcome.
The New York Renaissance Fair takes you back to a time where there were kings and queens and the knights who joust for the favor of their lady.
My favorite part about the Renaissance is the energy you get from everyone and all the costumes and all the pretty everywhere.
The Renaissance Fair has something for the whole family, especially for the children. They get to present themselves to the Queen in their finest Renaissance attire.
I'm Anthony, a Jedi Knight in Shining Mama. My costume is a woodland fairy. I'm really excited that I won the prize. My cousin Tara made it.
The Jamila Lotus Dance Carnival is just one of the many live performances at the fair. Their colorful costumes and live music had the crowd constantly cheering.
We perform here every weekend, and we've been doing it for almost 10 years now. We like to practice the harder parts of the show and get used to the heat.
And to help people get into the spirit of the fair, there are many shops that offer a grand variety of Renaissance clothing.
Anything from like your basic peasant wear to gypsy wear all the way up to court. It's actually Italian Renaissance based, so everything is we have a lot of period accurate things, and then we have a lot of fantasy items as well.
And if your knight needs shining armor, Capricorn Arms is the place for you.
I am the armorer here at Capricorn Arms, where we sell Viking helmets and medieval weaponry and ladies' costumes, armor, and many things.
Back in the day of no refrigeration, and when you had to catch your food before you could eat it, people enjoyed food like
beef jerky from right around the corner from me. It's really good. I'm a big meat guy, but it's my first time here, so it's pretty enjoyable.
There are many different games and rides at the fair, like the Tester of Strength and the Last Ride.
This is my first time here, and I really like the axe throw and the knife throw and the star throw. I like all the different vendors here. There's a lot to do.
In the 15th century, the blacksmith played a vital role in the town by helping to produce many different objects made of steel.
I'm what's known as a custom bladesmith. I specialize in things that cut, be it a farmer's sickle, or a hunting knife, or a sword.
With so many activities, the fair will have you partying like it's $15.99.
It's amazing. It's just so much stuff to do here. It's an amazing day trip if you're looking for something to do.
Who needs a time machine? The New York Renaissance Fair has food and fun all in one. I'm Melissa Vargas. Now back to the show.
I'm here with Amy Rosvally of the New York Renaissance Fair. Amy, tell us about the fair.
We're in our 37th season this year, which is super exciting. We're open August 2nd to September 21st on the weekends and Labor Day Monday. We have about 100 roaming street performers as well as entertainment on our stages. A joust, a human chess match. It's super exciting and great for all ages.
Now, Amy, what's the best way to get here?
The best way to get here would be to take the bus from Port Authority, and it'll take you straight to our front gates.
And there are lots of lakes around the 32-acre fairgrounds here for you to take time out and reflect.
And speaking of reflection, the 9/11 Museum is now open to the public. We sent our reporter, Aubrey Van Allen, out to visit New York's newest museum.
13 years after the unfathomable events that shook New York City and the world, the National September 11th Museum has opened its doors, furthering the rebirth of downtown Manhattan.
The museum is a place of learning and commemoration that honors 3,000 innocent people who died on 9/11 and the many hundreds of thousands of people affected by this event, including those who came to help, including those who went to war, including all of us whose lives were in some way, if not forever changed, forever modified.
After a 7-year process, the awe-inspiring museum opened on May 21st, 2014, and has already attracted thousands of visitors, some to learn, some to remember, most to do both.
The museum itself is a reliquary. It is the preserved remains of the missing World Trade Center site, within which we have actually included relics, which are artifacts from the day, artifacts from the days that followed, artifacts that bear witness to what was here to begin with.
Among the 800 artifacts, visitors will soon be able to watch 2 stunning Transit documentaries in the museum's auditorium, Above and Below, and From Dust to Steel. Additionally, We Remember is a chilling exhibit that features overlapping voices of people around the world, recalling where they were when they heard the news. But with so much to take in, the museum has been specially divided to give visitors the full experience.
We've divided the program essentially into a North Tower and South Tower experience. On the South Tower, we offer more of the feelings, and on the North Tower, it's more of the facts. So in the South Tower, it's the memorial exhibition, it's a presentation of tribute art, an opportunity to actually get a taste of how the towers were originally built through a reveal of the literal archaeology. And the North Tower is where we present the historical exhibition in 3 parts.
The goal of the museum is to be a solemn and powerful reminder of all of the issues and reverberations of 9/11 that have moved out not just locally and nationally, but internationally. And it's already proving to be just that.
I think the part that will evoke the greatest feeling for people, particularly for people in the New York area and in the affected crash sites, is actually the memorial exhibition, where you walk in and see a tapestry of human faces, conveying the magnitude of event, the preciousness of life, and then have the privilege of getting a chance to learn something about that individual through the curatorial choices, in a way, that their families and friends and colleagues have chosen to share with us. And then the bulk of the visiting experience actually takes place in the archaeological cavity of the void, of the missing World Trade Center. And part of the experience is just to feel that absence.
To accommodate all those who wish to remember and reflect, the museum has made sure to allow for plenty of available visiting time.
The museum is open 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. We are near the 4-5 train. We are very accessible to the E train, the World Trade Center. You can catch the 1, the R. The best way to find out information is to visit our website, 911memorial.org.
From the stunning artifacts to the detailed exhibits, visiting the National 9/11 Memorial and Museum is an unforgettable experience. I'm Aubrey Van Allen, reporting for Transit News.
After a day of jousting and defending the empire, one can get pretty hungry.
Typically, if someone is hungry, they most likely have to catch or hunt their next meal.
Turkey leg, my lady?
Why, thank you, my lord.
And when it came down to eating, there was no cutlery, and your hands were the fork.
Nowadays, all one has to do is fire up a grill. And if you're lucky, have someone cook for you, like we did. Here's Vivian Guzman and Howie D with some barbecue tips.
Whose chicken is this?
Hi, I'm Vivian Guzman, and I'm here with Howard Daly from New York City Transit, and he's going to prepare some really delicious eats for us. What are you making, Howard?
Today we're making New Zealand rack of lamb. The marinade is made up with our seasoning right
All of
here.
this that's here?
And
that's your special marinade.
that's our special DTS down to smoke marinade.
So how can I help you? I put all of these things in here?
Correct.
Alrighty, so now what happens?
We whisk all this together.
Okay.
Then we'll add our special main ingredient, our Sugar Hill beer.
Wait, oh, this here?
That right there. Made in New York City.
I gotta love that, baby.
Up in Harlem.
Should I put it in?
Pour it in.
All right, little by little?
There you go. So it gives a nice flavorful aroma. So what is gonna happen, I'm gonna dip this in. We're gonna take our lamb and put it in the bowl.
You're gonna work it in there, right?
We're gonna work it in there.
You're gonna massage it. So I hear, so you work for Transit.
That's correct.
So what do you do?
I'm a network cybersecurity engineer for New York City Transit.
And I heard that you were on a reality TV show as well.
Yes,
So tell me about that.
I was on Barbecue Pitmasters.
Howard Daly Jr. of DTS Barbecue from New York City. He's out to prove the Big Apple has the winning cue.
These other pitmasters need to keep an eye on this guy. He knows how to cook.
DTS stands for Down to Smoke. I've been competing in barbecue for over 2 years now. In the last 2 years, I've had a couple of wins in Staten Island and at Memphis in May. What's at stake in this round is proving that New York City is a contender.
Well, I got blindsided by rack of lamb.
Which is why he's here today,
That's
right?
why I'm here.
Yeah,
to
he's
show.
trying to redeem himself and perfect it.
Yes. Oh man, it was a shock and awe moment when I opened up the cooler and found out the surprise ingredient, rack
Because
of
you
lamb.
don't have control over that. But here you have control over all of your ingredients, and this is your own recipe, and it's going to be delicious, right?
Correct. All right, and then that goes in the cooler.
For 4 to 6 hours. So you have a bunch of skewers here, so what's happening?
All right, I've prepared vegetable skewers and fruit skewers. We're gonna put our seasoning on here.
Okay. And this
We're gonna drizzle a little honey across the fruit skewers.
Is that good?
That's good.
Okay.
Throw a little cumin up there.
This here?
Yeah,
On these?
just sprinkle a little,
All
just
right.
light.
Little like dash.
That little dash,
dash.
lemon pepper.
This too?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a little Cajun
You
season.
know, I
I'm
would
sorry.
never think of that for fruit, so
right.
this is exciting,
This
actually.
gives it a little
got a
kick.
twist.
And this is a little
Pepper?
Little pepper.
Lemon
Orange pepper.
Which I found so cool. Okay, I'm just gonna drizzle it all here.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a light touch, nothing heavy.
And what about the vegetables?
Vegetables, we can do the same thing, same flavors.
Okay. So what are we doing differently that went wrong at Pitmasters?
Barbecue Pitmasters is controlled chaos. My firebox froze in my cooker because it was a new experimental firebox.
Oh my God, that sounds like a horror. And you weren't able to fix it in time?
Well, we couldn't fix that in time. So the cook was rushed. So it's going to be on for about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the temperature. So all I do is sprinkle the seasoning on. This is our own special seasoning that we use in competition.
And now I see you have the grills the vegetables right here.
Right.
So how long does that stay on the grill?
That will be on 5 minutes. So
So
once.
2.5 minutes on each side, maybe?
Yep.
Okay. There you have it. Alrighty. The moment of truth. Look at that. That looks so beautiful. How do you know this is done?
I see the char marks are coming.
Ha! It looks done to me. I'm going to start plating.
Same here.
delicious, great, healthy meals here. Lamb, no carbs, just the alternative, which is fruits and fabulous, delicious vegetables. Howard, where will we see you next?
In September for the Kosher Cowboy Barbecue in Fairfield, Connecticut, and at the New York Urban League Football Classic, September 20th at Giants Stadium.
Well, cheers, Chef. Back to you.
I had such a great time at the New York Renaissance Fair here in Tuxedo, New York.
And you know, Crystal, life was hard back then, and unlike today, they didn't have mass transit to get around.
So whether you come by horse, car, or bus, the fair will be open every weekend until September 21st.
Well, that about wraps up this month's show. Remember, if you have any questions, comments, or story ideas, email us at transittransitnews@nyct.com. I'm Brandon Snively. Thanks for watching.
And I'm Crystal Caloris. Thanks for riding.
And I'm Mike Knutson-Goldstein. Remember, take mass transit to get to the fair.
And I'm Lauren Landi. Fare thee well. Crystal, let's go find some stained glass windows for our castle, while the guys hunt for dragons.
My young lord said to me, my mother won't mind, and my father won't slight you for your lack of kind. And he moved away from me, and this she did say.
This program is sponsored in part by
Municipal Credit Union, serving the financial needs of our members since 1916. MCU, strong, trusted, growing.
Transit Check saves money for commuters, lowers payroll taxes for businesses, and it's also good for the environment. With Transit Check, everyone benefits.
The Transit Managerial Benevolent Association, protecting the rights of non-represented active and retired managerial employees within the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Mike Landi, President.
Whether it's a landmark or a nightlight, Con Edison knows everything that depends on power matters to someone, so everything matters to us. Con Edison, everything matters.
Transport Workers Union Local 100, representing the 35,000 men and women who move New York. We're New York's public transit union. John Samuelson, President.
And by the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association of the City of New York, fighting for the rights of the police officers who protect New York City. Patrick J. Lynch, President.